Welcome to our third lesson in our financial literacy unit. In this lesson, we're going to look at three big concepts in the world of financial literacy: assets, liabilities, and net worth. So when we talk about assets, those are the things that you own. An asset is something that you own. Now, we don't typically count like little things, pencils, notebooks, calculator, that kind of stuff. It's things that you could turn into cash value if you needed to. So your car, your house, jewelry, cash, money you have in a savings account, money you have in a checking account. Those things would be assets, things that have fairly significant cash value. Liabilities, just the opposite. These are things that you owe. Now, this makes car and house a little tricky because if you took out a loan to buy your car and you still owe money on that car, then your car could be a liability, especially if you owe more money than what the car is currently worth. Then that car is definitely a liability. Same with your house. If you took out a loan to buy your house, then the money that you still owe on the house would be considered a liability. Credit card debt is a liability. Student loans are a liability. If you borrow money from someone that you're going to have to pay back, that's a liability. So assets are things that you own, and liabilities are things that you owe. We use those two things to calculate your net worth. When you're an adult and you try to take out a loan for a house, or if you sit down with the financial advisor to sort of plan for your future, one of the first things that they will calculate is your net worth. And it's a very simple calculation. It's your assets minus your liabilities. So the things that you own minus the things that you owe. Now, obviously, this can be a negative number. You don't want it to be, but if your net worth is negative, that means that you owe more than you own. And so if that's the case and you have a negative net worth, it means you have some financial work to do because you want to sort of try to get rid of those things that you owe so that you can get to a positive net worth. So we're going to learn how to create what's called a net worth statement. So I have a list here of some things, some assets and liabilities. So let's look at this list. So house payoff. Now you might think, well, house, if I own my house, that's an asset. But payoff means this is the amount of money you still owe before you could have your house paid off. That's why you see that negative sign there. So this is actually a liability because you still have money that you owe on your loan. The next one, your car, but it says it's paid off. In other words, you've paid off the loan, you own your car up front. Now, its value isn't what you paid for it because cars don't gain value, they lose value. So it's only worth whatever you could get for it if you tried to sell it. So this says $7,000 here. You might have paid $15,000 for it, but that's not what you're going to be able to get for it now. So this would be an asset because it's paid off and it's worth $7,000. Your savings account, so money you have in a bank in a savings account, that's an asset. Borrowed money from parents, it's borrowed, you owe them back, so this is a liability. Credit card debt, if it's money that you've spent on a credit card, that's always a liability because it's money that you owe. Jewelry that you own, if you own it and it has cash value, that's an asset. And then cash is always an asset, money that you have on hand. That's already in cash form, that's an asset. So what you do after you list out your assets and your liabilities is you total those up. So for our assets, we have a car that was paid off and it's valued at $7,000. We have money in a savings account. And that is $728.65. Jewelry that we own. And that was $1,207.80. And then cash. And that was $900. So there's our assets. Then we would list our liabilities. So our house, and we're counting that as a liability because we still owe money on it. There's a payoff amount, $32,695. And then money borrowed from our parents. And we still owe them $3,415. Credit card. And on that credit card, we owe $7,680. So those are our liabilities. So to get our net worth is always your assets minus your liabilities. So we're going to add up our assets first. So we had $7,000, $728.65. I'm just looking at my list of assets. $1,207.80, and then $900. So we're going to add all that up. Okay, 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 2 is 3. 0 is still 3. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 7 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So I have $9,836.45. So $9,836.45. Now we're going to add up our liabilities. So we have $32,695, $3,415 that we owe our parents, and $7,680 on a credit card. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Plus 8, plus 8 is 19. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 4 is 11. Plus 6 is 17. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 3 is 6. Plus 7 is 13. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So our liabilities are $43,790. So what we can see here is that this person's liabilities are far more than their assets. So they're going to have a negative net worth. So to figure out the difference between those two, we're going to subtract. But what we'll do is go ahead and put that bigger number on top, $43,790 minus, I might just scoot over some because I've got some change with that. So $43,790 minus $9,836.45. Okay, I've got a bunch of zeros there. I'm going to come all the way over here to this 9 to borrow. Make that a 9, make that a 9, and 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. Can't do 7 minus 8. 17 minus 8 is 9. Can't do 2 minus 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 minus nothing is 3. But that's going to be negative because the liabilities outweighed the assets. So we would say our net worth here is negative $33,953.55. That would be this person's net worth. Negative because they owed more than they owe. They owed more than they own. Sorry, they owe more money than they own. That's going to make you have a negative net worth because their debt outweighed what they own. That's not a situation that you want to be in. So then it says if this person paid off the credit card debt and the money owed to her parents, what would be her new net worth? So let's add those together. Her credit card debt was $7,680. She owes her parents $3,415. So if she paid those off, that's $11,095. So if she pays those off, that's not enough to get her completely out of debt. She's in debt $33,953.55, but should be less in debt. So we can take $33,953.55, and she would owe $11,095 less than that now. She's still negative because 11,000 wasn't enough to cover up for almost 34,000, but she's not quite as far in debt. So if she pays off those two things, now her net worth would be negative 22,858.55. Because paying off those two things wasn't enough to get her completely out of debt, but now she would not be quite as far in debt. So again, remember, to get your net worth, total all your assets, the things that you own, and then total your liabilities, things that you owe. And then just do assets minus liabilities. Once you've written down your assets minus liabilities, I would go ahead and kind of look at that carefully and decide, okay, do I have a positive net worth? In other words, do I own more than I owe? Or do I have a negative net worth where I owe more than I own? In either case, subtract and then just know, is this positive or negative? Okay, this next one, we've got a net worth statement over here, and it says Bailey's net worth statement is shown. If her net worth is $85,700, how much does she still owe on her car? So in this case, we're given the net worth, and we're trying to figure out what she still owes on her car. It's a payoff amount. It's what she still owes, so it's a liability. So let's go ahead and add up her assets. So that would be her home, which she owns, and then this cash. So 110,000 plus 5,500. 110,000 plus 5,500. So that's 115,500. So that's her assets right now. And we know that the car payoff is a liability. So we know that our asset number right there is going to stay the same. Now let's add up the two liabilities that are given to us. So 8,400 and plus 18,000. So 18,000 plus 8,400. Okay, so right now her liabilities are at 26,400. So let's assume that that was it. So she has her assets at 115,500 and her liabilities at 26,400. So if that was all she had, we would do her assets minus her liabilities. So 115,500, her assets, minus 26,400, her liabilities. So 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 5 minus 4, can't do 5 minus 6. 15 minus 6 is 9. Can't do 0 minus 2. Okay, so that would have her net worth at 89,100. But we know from the problem that her net worth is actually 85,700. So what I need to think to myself is that car payoff is a liability. So I need to kind of think, well, what would that need to be in order to bring that 89,100 down to 85,700? So I'm just going to subtract 89,100 minus what her net worth really is, 85,700. 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. I can't do 1 minus 7. 11 minus 7, 8 minus 5, and 8 minus 8. So her car payoff amount must be $3,400. Because that would bring it down to what this actually says her net worth is. So again, to get your net worth, total up your assets, total up your liabilities, and then do assets minus liabilities. And keep in mind that if your liabilities are more than your assets, your net worth is going to be negative. So in the real world, if you have a negative net worth, then what you start doing is you start looking at those liabilities, credit card debt, student loans, money that you owe to parents or friends or whatever, and you start thinking, what can I start paying off? Because as you start paying those off, your net worth is going to start coming up because your liabilities are going down. As your liabilities go down, provided your assets stay the same or go up, then your net worth will continue to climb. And you want to reach a point where you own more than you owe so that you will have a positive net worth. That is it for this lesson. If you have questions, please ask those. If you're ready for the skill check, that is open and ready to go. Thanks.